I knew in medical school I was going to do pediatrics. I love pediatrics. I loved working with kids. I love the type of medicine. I love the dynamics of working with families. But I wasn't necessarily dedicated to newborns because I didn't have any experience. And then when I went to my pediatrics training, they just have an amazing NICU at the place I trained, as we do at NYU as well, I have to say. But where I trained, they have an incredible NICU with a great group of doctors. And after I got over my shock of being there, because the NICU is like a really different place and very challenging. So once I got like settled and figured out how to do a few things, I really just fell in love with the medicine, with all of the different aspects of the field. And it's just something that like, I was like, oh, it felt like it fit. I was like, I want to do this, like this is the thing I want to do with my life professionally. So that's how I ended up doing it. And I love the NICU so much where I stayed there for my training. Like I applied all over, but I was like, I really want to stay here because this is the place, this is the kind of medicine I want to do. I want to be trained by these people. So I was really happy, lucky to be there.
You don't find working with babies to be like scary at all?
It is. Like I think that like I try to kind of keep it in perspective. And sometimes, there are moments where you're like, I'm not sure what's going on here. There's uncertainty. I always fall back on like, I'm trained to deal with this, like this is what I've done for like 10 or 14 years. I've been doing this, and then another like add on another 19 years of practice. Like I've been doing, I graduated a long time ago too. I'm not that young. So, but not only that, but I also have learned to be humble, right? Like I don't know everything. There are things that I've never seen before or things that I don't recognize. And I'm lucky enough to have really smart colleagues and friends. And so when that happens, like I will like take a step back, think things through, call a friend, call a colleague, ask for help. I'm not afraid to do that. And I think that like makes me in some ways a better doctor because you're not just limited to what's in my brain and like what my thoughts are. I also feel like, you can have the benefit of everyone at our institution, my other friends from elsewhere who I might call for like a little question. And I think that helps allay the fear. There are just sometimes, you got to live with it. You're like, it's scary. You're in charge of the team. And you're going to have to like get everything from point A to point B. And you have to like take a step back, calm your nerves, like try not to like let emotions drive your decisions, and try to like make a good plan and help the baby and help the family. Like that's my approach to getting through it.
I think, in personal, because we work side by side, I think one of the best things that a lot of people probably have, like doctors have this complex where they know it all and things like that, and I promise you it's really a joy working with you. At the end of the day, you are a leader, right? If there's a cold, if there's a really bad situation, you got to have the last answer. Even if you're like, all right, it's respiratory, John, what we're doing, or you want to rely on a nurse, or you're giving people their roles and you're allowing us to work on what we're experts at. At the end of the day, it still falls on your shoulders. So it's very true. Like the fact that you're always open to talking, open into listening. Even if you're trained, I know a lot of your job is, program director, training fellows, training residents, training the next line of doctors. Even, plenty of times you'll grab me and say, can you train him on a ventilator? This is your expertise. Even though I'm a doctor, this is what you do. And I think for, to make people feel good, is very reassuring, and it creates a certain type of atmosphere that is very conducive to what we do. And with you personally, I always see a lot of passion. I know you're always focusing on the family. You're always trying to involve the parents, which is very important in our job. I think a lot of people don't realize that's half our battle, because we're dealing with parents and mothers who are going through a lot and fathers who are going through a lot. And it's not just from a clinical standpoint, it's how do we calm them down and how do we gain their trust, which is not always easy to do.